Yeah!
All right, what's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things comic books.
Bro.
And we are talking about Hawkeye, the new TV show for Disney Plus, episode 3 going on today, and it has kicked it into high gear. It has brought up some, I don't know what's going on over here. It's brought up a little bit of,
Bruh.
all right, don't spill anything. We've
That's
got
right, bro.
Expensive things
Bruh.
around here.
Dap that up. Dap that up, bro.
We now have expensive equipment. Watch
Yeah.
yourself.
Bro.
Yeah, well, you initiated.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Yeah, I don't.
I've been bro now for years.
You've been
King bro.
repressed,
Georgette had you and
bro, for a while.
Bro.
Bruh.
No,
You gotta understand. You
All
gotta
right.
understand. I've been waiting for a show like this because, yes, I was a reformed bro, but now I can actually let out my broness. I
Verified
feel
bro.
small
comfortable
doses.
sharing my
doses.
bro with everyone here. And so, you know,
I don't know if this is good though. I
What up,
mean,
Hombrolo?
we know you relate to the bad guys a lot, and you're relating to the Tracksuit Mafia now. I don't know.
so
if that's
I
really
mean,
a
you
good-
are defining that they are the bad guys. I'm not entirely sure here. Like,
they're
you know,
pretty-
I
they're pretty
can't really
bad.
tell.
I'm more of like an bro Ham Lincoln. You're
A
more of
bro.
like a bro side and king of the broshin.
That's the cross I bear in this world.
I
You
don't-
know,
I don't want any part of this. Well, but I do want everything to do with this episode. Episode 3 was it was fantastic, all over. I mean,
Spectacular.
you gotta trust a bro
it hit the bullseye every time.
every time.
Every time. All right. So
60% of the time, it worked every time.
that's not how math
Just
works.
like
Thank you, Paul Rudd.
all of my pickup lines.
I will thank Paul Rudd for that. Paul Rudd's fantastic. I
Yes.
will always thank Paul Rudd.
Sexiest man alive.
alive.
Sexiest man alive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Only of 2021.
I'm
He-
just.
But he
I just-
deserves it. He's
Sexiest man of all time
He,
in 21.
he's a bro.
I don't
He
think
is a bro.
so.
100% a bro.
I don't
Well, I mean,
think so.
he was in the.
Isn't he from like North Carolina? He's from like North
That's
Carolina.
okay. They have the Outer Banks, right?
I don't know, but all like
Yeah, but
It's a bro area.
Him and
When
Stephen
you-
Colbert
when
are
you
from the same
look-
like hometown area.
when you
Better
look a
right now,
man,
Yeah.
when you look a man in the eyes, you can tell, bro.
Yeah, first time I met
That's
you with
first.
those sunglasses on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Exactly
I was
That
gonna
was a
say
different word, but it was close to bro.
when
Yeah.
you look
Bro.
when you look a man in the eyes and you can't see his eyes,
That's
then
right.
you
Well,
know.
That's
You
the
gotta-
moment know.
sometimes-
Bro.
You got
Sometimes
double.
you got to double.
Double,
Sometimes you got to make sure
Oh no.
they really don't know what you're
Do you
doing behind
understand
those
the
shades.
gravity?
All right.
That's
Let's
right.
let's talk about the episodes. This episode introduced a lot of things we've been waiting for, things we didn't even know we were waiting for.
To an extent.
Yeah.
And then it
I know
left you wanting more.
Well, that's good though. You want to want more. We're halfway through the season. We're halfway through. It's episode 3. There's only 6, because all of the
That's-
Disney Plus shows. So I
I
looked
was
them up.
blown away by that when you told me that.
WandaVision was 9 episodes.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
What was 8?
What? No, none
No,
of
no,
them.
no,
All
none of them.
6.
Oh,
all the rest
wait,
were
no,
6.
no.
There was something that had 8.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, it was 6. I looked.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was
Loki
6.
was
Yes.
8.
Nope, that was 6.
Seven
What if?
was 8.
What if was 8?
What if?
No.
was
What
it?
if I think was 8? Yeah, but no,
I'm
we
too lazy to look it up, but
we looked up the other ones though. They
I'm
were
just
all
saying,
6.
like-
but
Use my
regardless,
phone, but it's correct.
No, Loki
We're
was
halfway
7.
through.
Loki
Yep.
was 7. We talked about this earlier.
no. Season 2 is 7. Season 1 was 6. Yeah, we looked them up. But regardless,
I
so
can't
we're
handle
we're
6
halfway
episodes
through.
either.
We're halfway through.
Don't
we're,
do it.
we're halfway
Bro.
through.
Bro.
We're halfway through, and a lot has happened. All right, so in this episode, we get to see we jump back in time and get to see
Yes!
somewhat of the origin of Echo, but no one really cares because Echo's uncle is what we're focusing on.
That's all we care about.
Yes.
That's all we care
Even
about.
though-
Give me him.
All we saw
him come.
was his
King Bro.
gigantic hand and his like his
I
leg, right?
bend the knee.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
enough.
Just enough.
Just enough.
But we
Before
also
the Kingpin.
But we also heard
Yes.
his his laugh, man.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
Yeah.
If that's not Vincent D'Onofrio, it's a voice actor trying to be Vincent
Yeah.
D'Onofrio.
I
So
told people at
it's
work
gotta
that's all I
be.
needed.
Yeah.
I ran around the break room. I said, "That's him. He's in.
He's back, baby.
The thing that I
Oh,
thought.
baby.
The thing that I thought.
Oh baby,
Oh, baby. Bro, baby.
Bro, baby.
Bro, baby.
oh, Wario."
No,
The,
he's back. He's
Brorio.
back. He's back.
The thing
Bro-
that you.
Brorio.
Brorio. End the episode. End the episode. That's it.
Oh, we had to talk
Thanks
about
for
it.
joining
What
us.
were you saying? What were you saying?
You pointed out, and this is what I thought was amazing, was that like the screen shook when he like stepped into it to show the gravity of his stature, to show the
Yeah,
gravity
well,
of the situation.
Yeah, when he stepped, the soundtrack let in that great bass, and it was like,
Yeah.
boom. Like as he stepped, it was like, oh man,
I-
here he comes, the giant of a man himself.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I'm beyond excited for that. And
Yeah.
the theory behind this, and this is what you and I talked about, and
Yeah,
Harry,
yeah.
I think you'll be on board with this.
I was
is,
probably there some of the time, you know.
Yeah. You
the thing that
you
I-
were because
I'm
you
all
and I,
included some of the time.
you and I
That's
talked
fine.
about it too. You and I
I
talked about
went
it
to
too.
go and pick up a van.
It's-
This
We-
is
we
this
were.
is the
I
whole
was.
situation.
I was
here.
trapped in the car with this guy.
Yeah, usually,
we-
usually.
Trapped a cougar
No,
in
no,
the car.
You and I talked about it too. Though I think of wait, what were you bringing up?
I
We talked
really
about it.
want Kingpin, number one, to be back involved, but number two, I want Kingpin to be involved beyond this show and beyond like a singular show. I want him to
Right.
be
a
connected
recurring character.
across many
He's
different
such a large villain.
street
And-
level.
Yeah,
Character.
numerous.
Yeah.
Numerous.
He's such a large villain.
Pun. So
That was like the saddest. Just a little.
yeah.
I liked it.
But I think they have a real great way that they could make him stretch across a lot of shows, even into some movies, playing behind the
Yeah.
scenes, manipulating big villains
Yeah.
who he can't stand against, but he can manipulate to use against those heroes
Right.
Yeah.
that he can't stand toe to toe with,
Right.
which we know he wants to, but he recognizes his own limitations.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio, as much
Yeah.
as we love Kingpin, and as much as we love him, he's not going to step in there with Thor and actually be able to do anything.
Right, one
But-
on it. No.
But he can manipulate a bunch of villains who could step in there with Thor
Right.
to be able to mess him up.
Yeah.
I think that's the caliber that they're going for. It's like not
Yeah.
necessarily like the big bad, as in like an alien coming in.
No, he's
a
to
man
in the
destroy
shadows.
the world. It's
Yeah.
more just a like control of the current.
Yeah, I just-
country
Yeah,
or
the pup-
whatever,
the
but
puppet
underworld.
master.
Yeah,
Kingpin
it's-
is one of those characters that you can relate to him so
Right.
much.
He's a mafia like what's they call it in like all the mafia movies, like the main
He's the guy.
top guy.
The Godfather,
Yeah,
the-
but there's
He's
an actual
the,
like, it's probably Italian.
Wait,
honestly.
it's
He's a made man.
He's the Kingpin.
What is it?
But so let me get at what I think you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
The thing here is like we see a couple of people getting revealed in these different stories. Kang, we know, is coming in. We know
Right.
Kang is going to be coming into
He's really Ant-Man.
the quantum
Ant-Man
quantum
3, I mean.
mania.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know if Kang is going to be beyond that. Kang has the potential to be across multiple movies.
He could be the next Thanos.
Yeah, he could be the next
Yeah.
Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
But I would love to see them move away from this gigantic, overpowered villain.
Yeah, they're never gonna be able to.
They're
top
not going to be able to do
And
that.
it's gonna be
again.
Galactus, and then after that,
Yeah.
ooh.
But do
Ooh.
some work with
Mephisto.
Kingpin, where he brings together this
Case
team. Oh, maybe Kingpin is Mephisto. Maybe that was Mephisto walking in.
Probably. Yeah. It probably was.
That was Kate's mom.
Yeah, that's Kate's mom with her amazing reflexes.
Hello,
Yeah.
Echo.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
no.
am Catherine's
But
mother.
I agree.
think Kingpin
I
actually
agree.
being a Kingpin with like villains greater than himself,
Well,
but
yeah.
manipulating him in ways that they have to
Mass
obey what he
manipulator.
does
Yeah.
and what he
Yeah.
says. I think would be so cool.
Well, and that's the beauty of like what these TV shows can do is
Yeah.
that like we can also make his story grand and great with street level guys. Like we talked about, like where it would go next, and in the comics. Again, spoiler if you don't want to know about this. In the comics, Echo turns good and fights against Kingpin.
Sure.
And so, like, we thought, well, we know there's an Echo TV series that's already been confirmed.
Bruh.
And we know that it takes place after this.
Bruh.
And so the thought is, like, well, if she turns good and then wants to fight against Kingpin, well, then the villain in her series is probably going to be Kingpin. It's probably going to be her and Kate teaming up to fight Kingpin, and then maybe having Matt Murdock come in. Well, maybe having Matt Murdock come in, and then have Daredevil against him. And
It's
then
still not enough. It's still not enough.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's not enough for me.
Oh, it's not enough for you.
That's not enough for me.
I was gonna say it's not against Kingpin.
I hear you. I hear it. If
but
you
I don't
bring
think that would
Daredevil
be
in with the other two, it's enough against
but
Kingpin.
They need They need to bring him in slowly because
I want to see Kingpin.
Yeah, I know.
Like amass an army.
You can't, but I know, but you can't just have that be the first time we see him. They've got to walk.
I know that. I agree.
They have to walk him in, and this just makes sense because otherwise, we were talking about before, like. Nobody really knows Echo, so why are they making an Echo TV series?
Yeah,
but
agreed.
If Kingpin is the main antagonist in
that's
Echo,
why she's getting a series,
right?
Yeah.
And it allows Kate to have her first team up with somebody that we already know,
Mm-hmm.
and then it allows the introduction for somebody like Charlie Cox's Daredevil to come back.
Yeah.
Then it all makes sense. It's like, okay, this could be really good and really fun.
Yeah.
It would be ground level, probably involve the Hand, maybe some other small, more ground level villains, and it would be a lot of fun.
I was totally against an Echo storyline until we saw this entire flashback at the beginning of this episode.
It's what I said last episode. I said I'll do anything it takes to get Kingpin and Daredevil back.
But I'm saying this wasn't like
come on.
I hear you, but I'm not. I'm like even just talking about.
I will watch a Metal Man TV series.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Steel with
Metal Man
Shaq
TV series.
Steel with Shaq. Would you watch a Steel Shaq TV series?
Yes.
Now, if it meant I was getting
reboot with
Shaq
Cox
back into the MCU, absolutely.
All right. No, but I
would watch it.
What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, I'm actually even more interested in Echo now. Just as a character, based on her backstory and based on what they showed us in this episode. That was really cool.
To get into the rest of the
episode,
which we have not talked
We're just
about.
all Kingpin. Kingpin. End the episode.
Real quickly before we, and this ties into it.
You're done.
No, it ties into it. So, I'm going to take us off track? Not the volume!
Oh, baby!
Oh, barber.
It's not me. No, so I can't remember if I said this on the podcast last episode or not. But I thought that I didn't know that. And I'm gonna mispronounce her name. Alaqua Cox, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The girl who plays Echo. I didn't know she was actually deaf.
Yeah,
she was born deaf.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about that.
Yeah, and so, and I also heard a really cool story that Jeremy Renner went out and learned basic American Sign Language to make her feel more comfortable on set and like to talk with her and stuff. And, like that's
which
really
is really
sweet.
interesting
really
in their
cool.
first interaction because he's doing basic sign language, and then he can't keep up, and then he's done.
Yeah, but it's like, that just again, we're seeing so much really cool representation in the MCU. They're doing a really good job bringing those kinds of characters in, and now we've got a young lady who is from an indigenous people group, which is awesome, very underrepresented, and then she's also an amputee. She's missing one part of her leg,
and that's for real.
Yeah,
because
I
mean, you take a look at other movies where you have an amputee, like in Mad Max, in the new Mad Max with Charlize Theron, where they did it with a green screen glove,
or
and
even
everything,
the dude in Shang-Chi, the Razor Fist,
and it was all CGI. They're actually casting somebody who is an amputee, and I think that's very awesome.
Deaf too, so all the sign language stuff and everything is all
and she's pulling some of those moves.
The fight choreography was great.
Yeah.
It is bold, and this is what I said.
Yeah,
bold. And I have major respect for anybody in a fight that comes out full force headbutt first move. Yep. That's your leading move.
Well,
I'm impressed.
When Kingpin is your uncle,
Oh yeah, you go headbutt right away.
Come on.
Headbutt first move.
Yeah. So you were
Similar size head, so
you were,
that's my first move.
you were saying
your head would kill somebody. You got to be careful with that.
a blunt object.
It's
Yeah.
it's banned
Is
in,
that
like, 4
registered?
states.
I was gonna say, is that
Do you have
registered?
you have a license?
Is that a registered weapon?
You were saying,
I got 3
Harry.
registered weapons.
You were saying about the flashbacks and how that and Logan, you were saying about how that fleshes out her character.
Yeah.
But we see some when she's a kid.
Yeah.
But then we also get to jump
Because I gave
forward
no
and
rips
see.
about her character after the last episode. I was like, who's this chick?
Well, it's
Right, well,
stereotypical
she literally
for you.
turned around and
You're
went
like,
like
who's
this.
this person? I hate them. Get them off the screen. Next episode, they do something cool. You're like, oh man,
I love
I'm
them.
fully
I love them.
invested.
Yeah.
All
They're the
take
best.
all my money.
I've known them forever.
It's a 50-50 shot.
But we get a
They're my best friends.
we get a second we get a second flashback when she's older, and that's what really drives us into what's going to hopefully lay the groundworks for the Echo series.
Yeah.
And for the conflict going on now because she sees her dad die, which also
Right,
happens in the comics.
right.
So her dad gets killed by what it looks like to be Ronin, but we only really see him behind glass. We don't really see him super up close, but she's convinced it's Ronin.
And as we know by the past episode before that it doesn't take much for people to be like, oh, Ronan's back. Oh, it's a tiny little girl instead of a full-grown man, and it's like, no, there's no difference. They're the same people.
Same person.
It's
they wore the uniform.
It's because he's a shadow. He came in and he's more of a
wasn't.
legend. Well, no, but I mean,
She saved the dog. Ronan would be like, I don't care about that dog.
but what I mean,
Sure.
but what
That
I
dog
mean is that
Agreed,
the
bro.
mass public just saw him more as a legend, and so they're not really sure probably what he looks like. They know
Well,
he has
half
a
of them didn't
sword.
even know
they
he
know-
half of
Wow.
them, yeah,
Right,
half of them
yeah.
didn't know what he was.
Yeah. So she gets her dad dies in her arms, and actually it's
Super
really
nice
cool.
dude.
Super
nice
yeah.
dude.
Super nice.
I
villain.
run a
Yeah.
crime agency.
he
I
tells-
also
tells his daughter
volunteer
about
at a
dragons.
soup kitchen on the weekends and tell my daughter stories about dragons.
Yeah, man, he was
exactly.
so cool. And then actually,
Home every night before 5.
like what? Because he takes care of the team.
That's right.
Takes care of them.
About
but this-
family.
When he dies though,
Bruh.
really cool. Really
Too
cool.
hawk. Too
Jay,
high.
How? What if Groot?
By the way, shout out to Andy.
What if?
Thank you.
Andy,
That was
thank you for the
amazing.
comment where you broke down every
Oh,
Fast
my
and the
word.
Furious
Every Fast
movie
That was so good.
Plus an extra
into
one.
Hawkeye
Plus an
references, plus an
Plus
extra.
Awkward.
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 It got
Shout
real
out to
awkward.
That was great.
Is
Well-
it awkward in here or just hot?
But anyway,
Is that
when
a hawk in your pocket,
when
or are
he-
you just? That's not happy to see me. Ah!
All right, so when the father dies,
Yes, this
there's
is actually
a really
important. Let's get back on
cool.
track.
Well, that
Talking
I don't
about
know.
man dying here.
I know, and you're
We're
making
just
fart jokes and
cracking
hawk
jokes.
jokes.
Hey, that's my job.
I
Yeah,
do-
it is.
do-
Don't diminish the fart jokes.
I appreciate the farts.
Yeah,
I
don't.
I do appreciate.
You better
the
watch
farts.
it.
I do.
You better watch it.
But I don't.
He got you. He got you.
He's so happy.
He got you. It's not just me. He got him.
I don't think this is what you were thinking
For-
about. But when he dies, he ends up putting his hand on her face,
Yeah, and the bloods.
and it's a blood and a handprint on her face. And Echo.
Oh, like the
Well,
hand.
No, not like the hand. But
No,
No.
I thought like the hand.
yeah, I
That
know.
makes
But that's
sense.
not what you were thinking. I mean, I know that's what you were thinking, but that's not what it is. So
Braveheart.
Echo in the comics, her costume involves a white handprint, like diagonally across her face
Really?
to represent,
Okay.
to represent her.
The Flag Smashers have the
They had
red
a
hand.
they had a red hand on their
Oh, right.
mask.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in the comics, she has a white hand like painted on her face as part of her
Yeah,
costume.
I thought
And
you
so
Like
it's
a
cool.
Yurkai.
I thought you were going to talk
Yeah, like
about
the little guy.
the fact that
You
in.
really went in on that.
All right, so I thought you were going to talk about how in the comics, it's and not actually.
No,
it's-
that's the next part. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not Ronin who kills her parents. It's actually Kingpin who kills her parents.
Actually, yeah, even funnier.
Yeah.
Not
Wow.
funnier.
Wow,
Yeah,
please elaborate.
yeah, where you
No,
go.
listen.
Kingpin
Let's
killing her
Talk
parents.
about how funny killing parents is.
No, actually,
Watch
Echo was the first to don the Ronin costume in the comics,
Interesting.
and then she ended up giving it to other people, including Hawkeye.
Oh.
Wore it. But yeah, so it's interesting. But it's obviously it's a little bit different.
But
in
so
this. But
we are assuming that
Yeah.
Ronin is the one who killed her parents.
at this point,
but
that's what they're leading us to believe.
it could also be revealed that there is a twist here, and it wasn't, and it was actually Kingpin hiring somebody to kill her dad because rooting out weakness, his compassion, which is clear,
Right.
could be viewed as a weakness within Kingpin's organization.
Absolutely.
I just had a thought.
Go for it.
Here we go.
What if?
They already did that.
Whole series.
Whole series, Greg. Come on.
What happened? I can't even think of
Just
another
go
one.
ahead.
All right, what if Kingpin hired Ronin? Like he tipped off Ronin to the tracksuit.
Oh, I was about to tell you. Okay, he tipped him off, like he
tipped him off.
sneaked a tip, but
Yeah,
and then
like-
it didn't. It was
like-
like came from an anonymous source,
Exactly,
but it actually was
exactly.
Kingpin.
But he's
that
the one.
because if you were going to tell me he hired him, I was about to be like,
No. But
that
he's
doesn't
the one
line
who,
up at all.
He's the one who set up the
Set up
tracksuit.
the
Like,
whole
he's the one who
situation.
slipped.
It was a
he
double
slipped where
trap.
they were.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
double.
Yeah.
He,
That
Either
would
way,
be
he
cool.
wins
That
in
would
either
be cool.
situation.
Right,
If they
exactly.
kill Ronan,
Then
it
they
helps
kill
him.
Ronan.
If they kill him, takes care of a problem
Right.
in the crew.
That's
Right,
actually
right. Yeah.
now
That's Kingpin's
that's
logic
really
right
good.
there.
I like that. That is
That's
Kingpin
Kingpin.
logic.
Because
Or back to
because-
Kingpin again.
Well,
We can't get by.
Here's
we
the
can't
deal, though.
get past them, and never should we.
we
No.
talked about. Have you tried to get past a man that big?
Yes, daily.
That's right.
No, you're not
Well,
wrong.
Every
Pick
time
fights with him
you try and
on
fight
the
him,
regular.
and you lose every time.
That is not
Because
true.
he's-
I'm
well,
bold-faced lie. We
that's
haven't actually gotten to a fight.
I think he'd win.
Today is not the day.
You win.
Today is not the
If
day.
he's wearing his steel toe boots, he would
Bro,
win. If you're wearing both those sunglasses, you would totally lose.
that's
But
fair.
you
But
know,
you'd have perfect protection from these Three
Yeah.
Stooges
Yeah.
thing, you know?
yeah, except
exactly.
your fingers would go through the lenses.
You're not going to give me the Randy Orton thumb to the eyes.
True.
Not with this.
So we talked about why Echo would turn on Kingpin.
Right.
And so I
Yeah.
think there has to be
There's
he
gotta
has
be
to
a
have
reveal
some
there.
play.
If she's getting
in
her own
killing
show,
dad.
that has to be
Right.
it.
Yeah.
He
There
has to have
to
some
be a play here.
And he did in the comics, so he has to, and I think that would be a really good way, is if he tipped Ronan, he's the one who tipped Ronan off
Mm-hmm.
to go and kill them, and so ultimately it's his fault, and so she might never forgive Hawkeye.
It's already
But
been set
she
up
goes
that
to
Uncle
Kingpin.
is going to be upset with her for drawing so much attention
Oh, yeah.
to what
Right.
they're doing.
Yeah,
So
sure.
they're already sowing those seeds for there to be this separation and then being able to set up for her show.
But I also think
Yeah.
that something that in that conversation that she had with the clown, if
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
who it is.
Yep.
But she's like, who is the boss? You know, who is in charge? I am.
Right.
Right.
I think that it could get to a point where she's so driven by her revenge on Ronan
That could be
that
too.
Kingpin even turns on her, and then that forces her
She
Yeah.
forces her hand.
to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
true.
force up with Kate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like that's an option.
Yeah,
We've
I like
got to
that
get
too.
we've
Either
got to
way,
get to
it's
the
good.
rest of the episode.
All right, so-
there's so much more in this episode.
Yeah, so they escape the warehouse, Kate
Stop it.
and Hawkeye.
finally we get to
escape.
see
Great fight
Hawkeye
scene.
First time,
use a bow and arrow.
First time he draws the bow in the whole
Third
series.
episode, first time
Yeah,
he actually
halfway through.
uses a bow and arrow.
and he doesn't disappoint.
And not only that,
Oh,
he
not at all.
uses like hand-to-hand combat because we
Oh,
really
yeah.
in the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because the Rogers the musical is right. Like all they used him for was like get that great shot
Yeah,
all the way
yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
And then, I mean, he did use some
he
hand-to-hand
does
in,
some stuff, but
when he was running with the gauntlet, but like still,
yeah,
it was mostly him just saying I'm out of shape.
and he did, and he did some. He
I'm
did
too old for
some
this.
in Age of Ultron when he was fighting the bots. in
Age of
Sokovia.
Ultron.
He did
that
some
was
cool
where
stuff.
you actually saw probably.
Yeah.
But this was the most.
But
wow,
this
the
was the most.
No, yeah, I
Before
agree. I
that,
meant
yeah,
up to
which
that
was still
point.
not much.
No. And I
No.
mean,
But he's
his
never
whole-
never fought a villain. Like he's never been a part of a fight with a villain that's actually on his level.
Yeah, I don't-
Like they've
sure,
all
that's
been
true.
above
I was
him,
gonna say something.
and he's just trying to
Yeah.
survive at that point.
Yeah.
and keep
No,
everybody
it's
together.
100% true.
So these guys,
I know he's always
he has the upper hand.
his wife said he was the heart of the team.
Right, he held them.
and
He
like,
was the human.
held them together. He was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
human.
yeah.
But it was also in Age of Ultron, since we talk about that, like his whole thing in that movie was also just the banter and the back and forth with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Like some of my favorite
Yeah,
lines
yeah.
in that movie are just his back and forth with Quicksilver. The
I
scene
could,
where
do,
he's,
I could do it.
I could do it.
Nobody would
No,
know.
yes, it's so sad. It's really terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and he's also, we're seeing a lot that he brings a lot of people up, like the younger Avengers, up into he was influential in Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
like that
step
cool
out.
uncle that gives you good
Yeah.
leg advice.
And
Yeah.
a bow and arrow.
Yeah, shows you how to shotgun a beer.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's great, and he's doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing with Kate. So we see a lot of great fights. We see more of her skill, and he actually admits that she's probably one of the best archers in the world.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
she is in the comics. She is like she's incredible.
Their banter was phenomenal.
Their banter
everything
was
in the
The best part
car.
was he couldn't hear half
Yeah,
the time.
That was
but
the
they
best
were
part,
saying
the
some of the
delay.
same things.
Yeah.
And his banter with her in the car. My favorite is with the arrows where he's pulling them out. Not that one, not that one, not that one.
Dangerous.
And then she blows up a car, and it's like there were 4 more dangerous arrows than that one.
Yeah,
Like,
man, it's so good.
Really good. And then on the subway, when they're talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
having to
about
have to
walking
let
the dog.
Pizza Dog out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
walking Pizza Dog.
They,
He says exactly.
yeah, they
what she
finished.
said.
They finished the whole conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, "We should probably take the dog out. He's been cramped up. He's been, penned up all day." And it's like,
But you
That's
can
great.
see on her face, she is just so enamored
She
with
loves
him
him,
and
yeah.
just
He's
so
her hero.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. She's in love
Well,
with
they
him. She
talked
wants
about
to,
that, right?
in a father-daughter sort
Oh,
of way.
yeah.
Like,
I'm not a-
she
I'm not
wants
a
to
role
prove
model.
herself. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
And that
Yeah.
was something special.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
she's
But
like,
I think
"No, you are to me." Like,
Right,
no,
she didn't say
want you.
I was.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But
I-
she
you
doesn't
were
know
wrong.
yet, and that's the thing that sits in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be put up on a pedestal because he knows that he doesn't deserve to be there or he
what he's done.
believes
Yeah, what he's
he
done.
doesn't deserve to be there because of what he's done.
But I will say, obviously, when we saw him go Ronin, not
Yeah.
only in the flashback but also in Endgame and stuff, right? He
Yeah.
was brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was kill shots.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
love the fact though that every time he shot somebody in this, it was always like
Oh
in the top of the shoulder, in the arm, in
They
the
were fleshing
hand.
him.
He
Yeah,
like
giant pin arrow that somehow didn't destroy half the bridge.
timed it
Yeah.
perfectly. But he like stabbed them in the feet. It's like
Yeah.
it hurts them, but it immobilizes them. He's not trying to kill anybody.
Well, and I pointed
love
this
it.
out. I pointed this out to you, but you look at him in this series, and he's
yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
Like if you remember in Endgame,
He's kind of gaunt.
he was
He's rough.
skinny, rough looking. It was clearly he's not taking care of himself because he doesn't care about himself. He doesn't care what happens to him. It is clear in this one he not only cares about what happens to him, he cares about what happens to Kate, and he actually still cares about the people that he's fighting against. So he's he's not out there to kill or be killed. He's out there to save her and also protect her from the legacy that he's leaving or has left.
Right, that's dangerous for her.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he's trying to protect her from actually the life. When they are having the conversation
Oh, sure.
in
He
the
doesn't want
diner,
her to be.
he
a
doesn't
hero.
want her to try and be a hero. He doesn't want her to follow in his steps in any way because he says this enacts a toll.
You
and
lose
he
everything,
feels
yeah.
the toll in the scene where he doesn't have his hearing
when
aid
his kid calls.
and his son calls.
Oh, that was so
like
great.
that is
Oh,
gut
man.
wrenching.
Yeah.
That is
that was so
horrible.
So tough.
And so he knows the toll.
Yeah,
But when you're young, you don't have children, when you don't have a family that like cares about you and that
Right,
you
you
could
think
lose,
you're invincible.
you think you're invincible, you think there is no toll, you think there is no loss,
Which is what the mom said.
and
Right.
the reality is she's wrong because there is still there's people who still care about her, there's people who love her, and she isn't going to recognize that probably until it's too late.
Right, till she loses something or someone.
Exactly.
Family.
Exactly.
Family.
It's about family.
Yeah.
Bro.
What was also
Too hawk, too wide, bro.
What was also gut wrenching was at the beginning when Echo's asking about Ronin.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
And he says Black Widow killed him.
Yeah.
They're like, she's the one who ripped him out of the Ronin persona.
And the reality is she did.
It's like, oh,
that's the truth.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
actually, he's not
100%.
lying.
He's not lying. Ronin
Like-
died the day she brought him back.
Right.
And it was like,
Right.
oh, man, like that's so...
Baby.
Oh, baby, that's tough. It's just...
No,
it was good. It was great.
You were right. Before Logan and I saw it, Greg was saying that, like, he's like, you guys have to see. He's like, I can't even like say anything about this episode. He's like, they jammed so much into like a shorter episode. He's like, I was so disappointed that it was shorter because I saw a time bit, and he was like, I was not disappointed at all.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that ending.
Oh, yeah, let's wrap it up.
Because-
Hold on.
Oh, you
wait.
have something else?
Well, yeah, we were talking earlier today. For
Which
once,
part?
Greg and I were talking.
Oh.
We talk.
Without
Huh.
Logan.
We talk.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. Hello from the other side.
Oh, baby.
It must be called house.
Bruh.
What were we talking about? We talked about
how
live stuff.
epic
What were we reminded?
The
Oh,
scene
my
was.
goodness.
Like that was so cool that it was just a rotating camera
wrapping
in there.
around.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
legit car scene.
That was
chase. I was like,
insane.
I was like, they're doing a car scene chase, and afterwards, like, they did a car scene chase. Let's
I
go.
know.
Oh, it
You
was
get so tired
good.
of how many times people build that into movies and they do it
Yeah,
poorly.
and it can just be
It's like
so
let's
generic.
lean out of a car and shoot behind it. But the reality is the bow and arrow adds so much more depth to a car.
She's like, she's like, it'd just be so much easier if we just turn around. He's like, all right, hold on.
Yeah. Wouldn't this be easier if we turned around?
I love
yeah,
it. I like-
she said that, and then he was
partial-
like, "Hey, wouldn't it be easier if I turned around for you?"
Yeah.
Because he couldn't hear her, and he turned
As
around.
like a partial like car guy, like I love old cars, and he's like,
yeah.
we're not ruining a window out of a Charger. Come on, dude. And he like goes over to, like the Lincoln.
So another comic tidbit in the 2012 comic run that this is based off of. They drive that exact
Right.
orange Charger all through the comic.
Yeah.
So it's like
a beautiful
it was
car.
it's so gorgeous. And then he's like, it got blown up anyway.
Yeah. But I watched that specifically, and I'm like,
Did
that's
everything
CGI,
you could.
thank God.
Yeah,
It was like,
right.
there's nothing worse than seeing like a classic, like all the Fast and Furious movies. I'm just like, oh. But like I know they're all like they're
Too
made
hot,
for that
too,
movie. They're all like
yeah.
fiberglass, but it's still just like it's so hard to watch.
There's just too much crossover between Fast
There's
and
a lot,
Furious
there's
and
a
this
lot.
and this
Well, it's
TV
about
show.
it's about family.
It's about family.
I used
All
to
right.
say I live my life.
Now I live it by me.
Just
Yeah, I live
transparent.
in
That was
Bow and
the
Arrow.
stupidest statement
Dumbest.
ever.
All right, so the end. So they
Yeah.
end up fixing his hearing aid, and they sneak into her Kate's mom's penthouse because she
Yeah.
has access to their security system,
Of course.
and they want to look up and see if they can figure out about Armand's death.
Listen.
They can figure out about more about the Tracksuit Mafia.
If you
Right,
have
so-
not listened to our last episode, go back and listen because I called
You
this.
did- I was gonna.
I called
I was gonna-
this.
I told you yesterday. I said I listened to the episode, and I saw you guys yesterday. But
Yep.
you guys were doing other stuff, so I kind of just let you be. But I was gonna say Logan like straight up called this. He's like, it would be just so funny if they just like like they would such a quick snap and like
Yep.
at each other and
Yep. That is
Yeah,
exactly
well,
right.
But
So-
you're right for only like 1 second.
So
Yeah.
but that was the best part because
Yeah.
you're like you're just waiting. So at the end, Hawkeye.
Yeah, but I'm right until next week until I'm wrong.
Yep.
So I'm right
yeah.
for now until next
and
week.
I think you're going to be right.
I think I
Pretty
am
long time.
too. I think I am
Hawkeye,
too.
Hawkeye is they're looking through files and he hears something. He does this whole spy thing where he knows somebody's in
Well,
the room.
they were looking through the files, and his
Yeah.
picture came up.
Right.
And right when the picture came up, he looked over and
Shifts.
looked away.
Yeah.
Shifts.
He was. I was like, oh, that's convenient. And then right when
Mhm.
that
And then he
happened.
walks around
Yeah.
the corner and all of a sudden there's a sword to his throat.
He knows him. They know each other.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
know each other. I guarantee you they know each
Now-
other. Jack knows him, and the reason we didn't have it until this point was because they didn't share a scene. Now they're going to share a scene together.
Yep.
They're going to recognize each other, and this is
Well-
where we're going to then see Jack is not a villain in this.
So here's the question.
That's my belief.
Here's the
That's my
question
belief.
though. Here's the question. Are they on good terms?
Yeah, I think they are on good terms.
Or-
I think this
or-
is a
or-
joke.
It's about bros.
It's about the bros.
Or-
bro, you gotta trust a bro.
Trust a bro?
Trust
You
a bro.
gotta trust a bro.
Are they on good terms, or did something happen which happens many times in like movies and stuff, where the eccentric trainer and mentor does something that they don't agree with, and they end up going
No.
different ways, and they're estranged. They have to kind
This
of
is-
that far apart.
This is your
Right.
typical,
probably about like 10 years.
maybe at least 10.
Yeah.
At least 10. But what I'm saying is this is your
Yeah.
typical
You think they're gonna
TV
like?
show fate.
You think they're
It's
gonna
too
be-
early.
Well,
if
no.
he was hear me out.
No, I agree that he's not I agree that he's not the bad guy, but that doesn't mean
But
that
they're
Hawkeye
setting
and
him
him
up
can't
to-
have friction.
They could have some friction.
Like
and
maybe-
I'm not saying
Like
that they're
maybe
not gonna
he
have
didn't-
any friction.
Maybe he didn't agree with Hawkeye taking all those risks to get Natasha
Maybe.
out. You know,
Maybe.
when he
I
took
don't-
her out of the Black Widow program and stuff
Maybe
like that.
there's
Like,
that.
a
Maybe
rift.
there's some rift, but I
And
don't.
then they grow close again. Like,
Exactly.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
I truly believe what's going to end up happening though is there's going to be, instead of like this, the rift being so big that they have friction right away, I think that sword, that is Ronin's sword, that's the detractable sword.
Yep.
He's going to detract
Super
that sword and they're going to hug, or they're going to bro out.
They're gonna do
like,
they're gonna do the Carl Weathers Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You-
Oh,
Flexing muscle.
I can't see that. The fact that you both just did that to yourselves is really.
Well, it's too far, and you saw me trying earlier.
We got this. We got the dap. We got the dap.
That's all right.
But seriously, I think what's going to
Yeah.
end up happening here is this is the feint.
They're
We're
gonna have
halfway
the warm
through the
embrace.
show. They're not going to reveal, or the bad guy isn't
Yeah.
going to be somebody that you are building a relationship with halfway through the show. That's not going to happen.
Wait a minute. What if?
Hold up.
What
You
if?
got a lot of what ifs today.
I do.
You better.
Well,
What if?
This
Your
is
other
the-
one was good, so
this
give
is
me
the
another
fun
one.
What's
thing
the
about
people
the
saying?
shows.
What if?
How about those what ifs? So what if he was we talked about the possibility of maybe he was a SHIELD agent that trained him in SHIELD because he's a SHIELD agent.
Yeah, he could have, or trained multiple agents.
Sure,
Maybe
whatever.
He worked
Yeah.
for SHIELD at one point. Yeah.
But
What if?
what if they
What if?
he hasn't seen him for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like they haven't been communication.
What if?
Mhm.
And what ended up happening is he drifted away from SHIELD when SHIELD was compromised by Hydra, whatever.
Mhm.
And what if?
And he ended up changing. He ended up changing his priorities, or like things shifted, or he's always been a kind of a reckless guy in the comics anyway, right?
Jack?
You were talking about that,
Or
yeah.
Hawkeye. Yeah,
Jack.
Jack.
You were talking about
Yeah,
that.
he was
He
kinda
tried to
always
join the
he was
Avengers.
always
They
a wild
wouldn't let
card.
him because he was So maybe he went out, and we're gonna find out that he is now in league with Kingpin. Like they're friends because he's like, oh, I love Hawkeye, but then he's that's the path he's gone, and
I
Kingpin's
sort
bought
of
him.
Using him kind of.
Yeah,
to
Kingpin's
get back
bought
into
him
the
for
scene.
that.
Yeah.
I
That could be.
don't know.
Here's what
Just
I'll say.
saying, I don't know.
Could be
I think that'd be
100%. I think it's played out. I think that's too easy. I honestly think it's the mom. I still believe it's
I
the
still
mom.
think the mom is
And
definitely
what I
in trouble.
think, and what I think is the actuality here, is Jack is investigating. He was getting close to Kate's
right,
mom.
to the mom, yeah.
And now he's going to have to reveal. Kate's been saying he's hiding something. He's hiding something. He's hiding
Right, it's
something.
that he's
The
investigating.
thing that
her.
he's hiding is that he's actually investigating Kate's mom, and that he was working to
But
get close
for
to her
who?
as a spy.
Shield.
Well, for Shield's what
For
we talked about in
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
the past,
for-
and maybe that.
I mean, it could be because he's he's investigating her to get to
to
Kingpin.
get to Kingpin, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I that's what I really think is going on here. And the thing that
Could
she's
be.
right. So Kate, you're right. He is hiding something.
It's just
You're
not what you
wrong
think
about
about
what you
what it is.
thought he
Do-
was
Do
hiding.
you think he started this like venture on trying to regain the Rodin equipment because he wanted to take over
As Ronin.
as
I
Ronin,
think he
or,
knew.
or just take on some of the pieces so that he could then take on Kingpin.
Here's what I think it is.
Yeah,
Here's
no.
and this is
Yeah.
this is me just
Because
coming to
you
this
know he
now.
wanted those, so not just because he's a swordsman, so he
I
wants
don't
a
think-
sword. But
I think he knew who was
Yeah,
running.
no. Yeah, I would agree too.
Here's
I
what
would
it is.
agree that
I think
he
he
could
we don't know if he
recognize-
was
Collecting.
We don't
no,
know if
no,
he
no.
snapped.
I think he was collecting
Yeah.
the things because he knew Hawkeye was
It would
Ronin.
draw Hawkeye.
That's where the friction was.
yeah.
The friction was because he knew Hawkeye was Ronin. He was collecting those items to
Yeah.
either A, draw Hawkeye out, or
Right.
B, protect him. Because he wanted
Yeah.
to make sure that he had the life that he wanted
Or
him
that-
to have.
or
He was a
that-
mentor to him.
Or that friction
Yeah.
is there because he's like, how dare you use what I taught you to kill everybody?
Exactly.
So it's three options.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All
there's-
very viable and good options.
Yeah, I want to see him.
Yeah. But
I want to know.
I do believe
And they all involve family.
they all
Family.
involve family.
Yeah.
Bro. Two
Oh.
Hawk, two Wise.
Oh,
See,
baby.
you were a big hater on it the whole last
I was.
episode we
I was.
recorded, and now all you've
I
said
had-
is
listen,
put those
I was.
glasses on. You're
Listen,
like,
I was.
I
about
think
family.
It's 'cause
to wrap this
A
up,
bro had to get in. The bro had to come back out.
You had to trust it, bro.
to
Had
wrap
to trust it,
to
bro.
wrap
bro.
this up, I think that needs to be the title of this podcast. I think it just does.
Trust
Yeah.
it, bro?
But
I don't even know if it's the best suggestion, but
But
it's now too.
I was gonna
it's
say,
too involved in
I
what we're
need
doing.
to. It is. I need to shout out to my wife.
She had a
because
great one.
She
actually had a really good
great
That was
one.
a good one.
And if it was the first one we heard, we might have taken it.
Had-
But this has
Had we not
This
heard
has
Two
just-
Hawk, Two Eye
Two
to
Hawk,
joke
Two Eye, I
around
think
with it
is
too
just
much,
where it is. But she said two fly for a Hawkeye.
that
And I
is
just
real
that's
good.
that is
That is
real
good.
good.
Mhm.
But
We could make this the most ridiculous title we've ever had.
it's about family.
No. But hear me out. Hear me out. What if this is
No.
the title of the podcast? What if it's Two Hawk, Two Eye, formerly
For a fly
known
guy.
as says two fly for a Hawkeye.
No.
AKA
Featuring.
feature.
Special thanks to Vin Diesel.
Brought to you in part by.
No. Well, we're gonna keep it.
Viewers like you.
Two Hawk, Two Eye, I think is what we're gonna stick with because
Sounds good.
that is very brotastic. And this.
Are you not entertained?
I hope so. This series is.
Yeah, we're
is
not,
very-
we're not entertaining.
If we're not-
you at this
Either
point.
laugh or be like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
That's pretty much
if
what's
anything,
happening with this
we're
episode.
entertaining ourselves.
Oh, of course.
Um,
Oh, absolutely.
we love this episode.
I
We
entertain
can't
myself
wait.
staring at a wall.
What?
Are you Kingpin?
I entertain-
Remember he bought that painting that was just white? And
Yeah, I
he's
thought
just
it was
like,
brilliant.
I
I
see
loved
everything
it.
in this.
I loved that painting.
I will say
I
that-
loved that
I
painting.
will say
You're
that
about to get
that scene though, where he's talking with the lady that he wants to buy from, the Holocaust survivor,
His life.
is when he's talking. His wife? No,
I'm
no, no.
having I can't talk today.
Get
No,
your- mute
when
yourself.
when he goes to buy the
Yourself.
painting from her.
I thought
Buy
he
it back
bought it
from
from the girl that he liked that eventually became his girlfriend that eventually
No, he-
made him mad again.
He ended up losing all of his paintings, and this went to her because it was in her family, and she was
Yeah.
like a Holocaust
Yeah.
survivor. But that sit-down talk was like the most tense. It was wonderful.
the whole
But
show with him.
Oh,
Anytime
yeah.
he's there, it's just like
come on, Vincent D'Onofrio, show
Right
your
moment.
face. We want you in the show so
show
badly.
me the face.
Show me the money.
Any moment involved with him is scary.
I'm starting to rewatch it. So
Don't
I'm
forget,
excited.
like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
We're so bad at this. Click that bell.
That's a bell.
Come back here and watch more of our episodes
New sound goofing.
because they are great. And we love
Just
the
good.
episodes, and we love you. All right, we will talk to you
Thank you.
guys next time on the next Two Hawk, Two High episode.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every week. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, same Legion.